Hugh, thank you for having me back on. Always enjoy it.
All right. Now, I want to get to the shutdown, but before I do, two quick questions, but they're hard questions. Don't want to ambush you, but they're hard questions. Virginia Attorney General Democrat nominee Jay Jones has issued texts have been revealed in which she suggested the Republican speaker should have 2 bullets to the head, maybe even indicated that the children should be killed should that man, Jay Jones, drop out of the race.
Well, it's horrific. There's no excuse for it. I fully condemn it. And yeah, I mean, I haven't followed all the details, but if he was actually saying that, I certainly wouldn't support him.
Thank you for that. Clarity, finally. Secondly, have you seen the videos of your former colleague, Katie Porter, walking out on the CBS reporter in Sacramento and then exploding at her staff? Have you had a chance to see those yet?
Have. Look, it wasn't her finest moment. I view that, I'm sure, Hugh, you view that as different than calling to kill your opponent or their family.
Oh, yes, very.
It wasn't her finest moment. But I give people some grace in terms of we don't judge people on their worst moments. There have been other politicians who walked out. I haven't ever done that. Certainly would never do it with you, Hugh. And I have differences with Katie Porter, but I try not to be someone who just beats up on folks when they're down. So let's see how she handles it.
So do you think she has the temperament to be governor of the Golden State? There are a lot of Democrats running, like Javier Becerra, et cetera. Does Katie Porter have the temperament to run the Golden State?
You know what I would do if I were her? I would hold a open press meeting, 2 hours, invite folks, conservative, liberal press, others, apologize for how she acted, explain why she lost it, what the moment was, be transparent, and try to regain her trust. But I think she has to prove that she has the temperament. Have we all had bad moments? Yes. But now she's got to rebuild that trust. And certainly there's no excuse for not answering basic questions. I mean, that was not a tough question. The first question you asked me was a tougher question than anything she was asked.
Oh, good advice, by the way. Good advice. I hope she listens. Now let's get to the policy.
Did you come on your show, Hugh? Would you have her on?
I know, she should. She was my congresswoman. I actually had left California by the time she defeated Mimi Walters, but I would have been a constituent. I'd love to spend an hour with her, and it would be fair. She's a law professor like I am. We'd have fun. Congressman Khanna, the government is shuttered. I've got kids in the military, and they're officers, and they can handle missing a paycheck. But they have E1s and E2s that can't. And I hear about these E1s and E2s who are living on $2,300 to $2,700 a month. They can't miss a paycheck. Should the government be reopened?
Yes, but Hugh, maybe you can call on this to happen. Why can't we vote today on paying the troops? In every other shutdown I've had, we have votes in the House and the Senate to pay the troops. The House has been out of session. We haven't been here. Someone said to me, when the government shuts down, the House members should be locked into the complex, and the senators should be locked into the complex until we get a deal. But we should be at least voting on the troops. And you could call for that. You could call for the Speaker to convene us today, tomorrow, to have a vote on paying our troops.
And my response is that's not necessary because 13 times in the last 2 years, Democrats and Republicans together passed a continuing resolution for 7 weeks to get the appropriations process done. It's been passed by the House. It's in the Senate. Democrats are getting killed politically for this. So what's your advice to your colleagues in the Senate? Not in the House. You guys got beaten by the Republican majority that just won election. What should the Senate do given the circumstances right now and the fact that the House is out?
Well, I disagree with you on the political impact of it, but I think people, you know why people don't blame the Democrats? They see the Democrats as not having enough power in Washington. This is a case where you got Donald Trump, who's basically gotten his way, the Senate and the House, and they're saying, just get the government open. What I've said, and I'm consistent on this, you may disagree with me on the policy, but I've been consistent against the filibuster when Biden was president. I'm consistent now. If you can have an exception to the Senate rules of the filibuster to confirm Trump's presidential appointees, if you can confirm Trump's judges with 51 votes, tell me why we shouldn't have a rule in this country that you can keep government open and have a continuing resolution with 51 votes. Nowhere in the Constitution
I'll tell you
does
what,
it talk about
Congressman,
filibuster.
I opposed Harry Reid when he broke the filibuster the first time. I supported Mitch McConnell and John Thune when they used the same option, given the Harry Reid precedent. But that's about nominees. There's actually a constitutional argument. You know well, you're a Yale-trained lawyer, that the Senate has an obligation to vote on advice and consent on nominees, and they shouldn't be blue-slipped. Long argument, but it's different from legislation. This is a clean deal. This is a clean CR. How many clean CRs have you voted for in your long and distinguished career? 30?
I'm sure I voted for a bunch. I've been in Congress 9 years. But the point is, we should come to a look, just like there's a budget reconciliation. Why is that not subject to the filibuster? There are exceptions to the filibuster. My guess is if you ask the American people, do you think that we should be able to pass a budget to keep government open with 51 senators, or do you think it should require 60 senators? The vast majority of people will say 51 senators. The only people who believe still in this filibuster thing are the people who from a different era in the Senate.
Oh, yes, I'm a Madisonian. I'm very much a Madisonian. I want to slow down legislation, but the world is as it is right now. I don't want the nuclear option right now. No one's put that on the table in the Senate because that means expanding the Supreme Court to 14 and adding 5 Republican justices. Would you like that, Congressman?
I don't think they'll do it because I think the American public won't let him do it. Look, FDR, as you know, tried to do it. He was probably the most popular president of the 20th century. He couldn't do it.
Democrats tried to do it. When you get asked, if you run for president and you get asked to raise your hand if you're in favor of killing the filibuster, are you going to say yes?
I am. I've been consistently opposed to the filibuster. I think the problem in our politics, and we have a respectful disagreement, is that we're not doing things fast enough to be able to build things, to be able to help places that were deindustrialized develop, to be able to keep government open, to be able to getting things done. And to me, the filibuster is one of those tools that has made us dysfunctional.
Aside, do you want to expand the Supreme Court? It's the end of rule of law if that happens. It's like a nuclear arms race to third world status if we expand the Supreme Court. Do you want to do that?
Well, I've been for term limits on the Supreme Court. What I've been said is every president gets two appointees, and you can still be a judge. The Constitution says you'll be a judge for life, but you can have senior
we might
status
agree on
on
that.
the circuit court.
That's a constitutional amendment. We might agree on that because I don't like them serving past 75. Let's go back to the shutdown, though, Congressman. Those E1s and E2s are not entertained by us talking lawyer talk. They have car payments and kids at home who need food. Should the Senate reopen? That's the only option between now and missing a paycheck. Should the Senate reopen the government?
We should, and we should just get either they should just do the nuclear option, as you call it, or they should extend the health care tax credit so that people's health care premiums don't go up. Or what I believe is let's just vote to make sure that the troops get paid. I mean, how do you explain? Let me ask you this, because Johnson's been asked this. Massey and I have 217 signatures on the petition to get the Epstein files released. Adelita Grijalva gets sworn in the day we have votes. She could be sworn in a pro forma session. Johnson doesn't want to do it.
Congressman, you're really good, but you're ordering off the menu. You went to the Italian restaurant and you want dim sum. There's only one thing on the menu, which is opening the government or keeping it closed. What should it be?
Well, yeah, but this is the fallacy of the excluded middle. You can't just give someone 2 options. You know this from your law school days. But obviously, to keep the government open. But the best option would be let's vote on paying the troops. But tell me this Epstein thing. You know, I don't know where you are on it. But why don't we just get this 218 signature? Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying swear Adelita Grijalva in. Nancy Mace is for a vote on this. Lauren Boebert is. Thomas Massey is.
You may be shocked by this, but those 3 Republicans are not ever been on my show, ever.
Really?
They are not coming on my show. Khanna has been on this show about 10 times more than those 3 combined. So you may be shocked by this. I just want to get the government open. Khanna, It's always good to talk to you. Thank you for your candor on Jay Jones and Katie Porter. And we're going to get there on reopening the government because you guys are going to lose as long as you don't pay the troops. That's just friendly advice to a guy like Congressman Ro Khanna from California. Thank you. I'll be right